Let's talk about what's going on in Iran. Anti-government protests have spread to more than 50 towns and cities, and things are getting violent. Several protesters and at least one police officer have been killed, and it all started because of what happened to 22-year-old Mahsa Amini. She was arrested last week in Tehran by what are known as the morality police. They apparently decided her trousers were too tight and headscarf wasn't on right. Under Iranian law, women can be arrested for not wearing proper hijab, which doesn't just refer to the headscarf, but also the rest of her clothing as well. Now, Amini collapsed while she was in police custody, fell into a coma, and died in hospital 3 days later. Iranian officials say she died because of pre-existing health conditions, but her family say she was healthy and that she died because she was severely beaten. And as her story spread, so did the anger. Women started posting protest videos online of them cutting their hair. Other women have been burning their headscarves, and it kind of snowballed from there. So now, people aren't just protesting about what happened to Amini. Women and men are angry about the whole system. Iran's government is trying to shut this down. Protesters are getting arrested, and the internet is being heavily restricted. Still, protesters seem determined to get their message out for as long as they can.
And I don't want to knock the whole country because you can't tar them all with the same brush, but the idea of one religious leader deciding absolutely everything is pretty old-fashioned these days. I'm glad the young woman brought this to my show last night. There was a group of 5 or 6 young Iranian people in the front row. So there you are, girl. Yes, we do support you, and we do support all those young people who are protesting in Tehran. They need to listen to the voices of these people. You cannot tell people how to dress anymore. This is now the 21st century. We are not living in the 11th or 12th century. People have to be allowed their voice and allowed their freedom. And so, Mahsa Amini, we will never forget you. We haven't forgotten Neda Agha-Soltan.
Here's some quick context on the situation in Iran. Iranians have been living under a theocratic, oppressive, murderous regime for 43 years. Iranians aren't just protesting against mandatory hijab. The bigger picture is that they don't want to live under the Islamic Republic. Mahsa Amini's brutal murder at the hands of the police was a powder keg moment for Iran, much like George Floyd's brutal murder at the hands of the police here was a powder keg moment for us to go protest against the larger issues of systemic racism and police brutality. Her murder has added fuel to the fire of a nation that's been burning with rage and yearning for freedom for 43 years. Our women in specific are fighting for their basic human rights. And to be treated as and deemed under Iranian law is equal to men, which currently they are not. Iranians aren't fighting to reform draconian laws. They're looking to break free from the shackles of the Islamic Republic. Stand with them, amplify their voices, keep posting and sharing. I promise it's making a difference. با آرزوی آزادی برای مردم ایران.
This is the Iranian girl who was beaten to death by the police a week ago in Tehran. And there have been huge protests and a lot of loss of life. But it is pretty awful for theocracy like that to beat the kid to death just because she's not wearing her hijab.
Yeah, women in Iran. Women in Iran who all have stories of being detained or harassed by the morality police are fighting back, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. Think about it. You're going to have a bunch of random people walking around Iran telling women what to do with their own bodies? Huh? In America, you have to be on the Supreme Court to do that. And what the women of Iran are doing is inspiring people all over the world. I mean, you saw them. They're chanting death to the dictator in front of the dictator's troops. That is the definition of bravery, like actual bravery. Real bravery.
Amini.
Mahsa, the 22-year-old.
Mahsa Amini.
Mahsa Amini!
22-year-old Iranian woman, Mahsa Amini.
Woman, Mahsa Amini.
Mahsa.
Mahsa
Amini.
Mahsa Amini.
Mahsa Amini. She was arrested by police.
Mahsa Amini.
Mahsa Jina Amini.
Mahsa Amini.
Mahsa Amini.
Mahsa Amini.
Mahsa Amini.
Mahsa Amini parce qu'elle parle pour les
Mahsa Amini.
Mahsa Amini. Mahsa Amini.
Kopftuch nicht richtig.
Mahsa Amini.
He's just 22 years old. Mahsa Amini.
Mahsa Amini.
On Mahsa Amini.
Mahsa Amini.
Mahsa Amini.
Mahsa Amini was arrested by morality police in Tehran.
Mahsa Amini.
Mahsa Amini tinha 20. Mahsa Amini.
22-year-old Mahsa from Mahsa Amini.
This 22-year-old Mahsa Amini who was brutally beat by the morality police, beating and killing protesters. They have no voice right now.
You can help by simply sharing and becoming their voice.
so sorry.